Get connected on our social media at iPower One Nation for radio and TV news and updates. Stay connected with iPower One.
Police say 3 men entered Sam Aiden Grocery armed with guns on Wednesday. They left with thousands in cash, but first shot a shopper. It was around 9:30 in the evening. You can watch it all unfold in this newly released surveillance footage. The 3 suspects enter the store on Westchester Avenue and head towards the cash register, demanding its contents. Meanwhile, 2 customers come inside unaware of what's happening. The armed men force one to the front of the store and the second shopper to the back, but on the way, shoot him in the thigh. These suspects fled with $1,000 in cash from their register, $500 in cash from the cashier's pocket, along with the cashier's cell phone, and they were last seen fleeing the location here on the corner of Westchester and Commonwealth Avenues. In Soundview, Catherine Thompson, News 12, The Bronx.
MTA completed its goal of installing countdown clocks at all 471 of the city's stations by the end of last year. How well they work, however, is up for debate by strap hangers. The New York Post released a study of newly installed countdown clocks and found that many clocks don't display actual arrival times. In some cases, the clocks are located in obscure areas on the station platform. At the 6 train station at Hunts Point, commuters had mixed feelings, but overall they say it's a welcome change and the technology is helping transport our transit system into the modern era.
From the time I was growing up, they didn't have these clocks at that time, but now they're very helpful and they're very accurate. When they say 2 minutes, they actually mean 2 minutes, except only when it's a delay. But it tells you when it's a delay, so it's very helpful.
Sometimes it doesn't really work. Like, it says a time, but, you know, it's always delays or something. But for the most part, I think it's useful.
And for more on the MTA's technology push, tune into News 12 The Bronx. Catherine Thompson has the details on a new subway countdown app and other ways the city is trying to make your commute a lot easier. We begin with 12 on crime. Police are investigating a triple shooting that left 1 man dead overnight in Wakefield. Officers responding to the 4400 block of Richardson Avenue just after 9, where they found a 21-year-old man shot in the back and another man and woman with gunshot wounds. The 21-year-old was taken to the local hospital where he died. The other 2 victims are recovering. Now, investigators are working to find out what happened, but tell News 12 the shooting may have been a result of a drug deal gone wrong.
Witnesses out here describing a chaotic scene. Police rushing to this restaurant around 3:30 in the afternoon Friday night. Emergency personnel rushing here to find an 18-year-old stabbed to death. Police say he was stabbed in the back multiple times. This is viewer video recorded just after it happened. Police say 2 people were stabbed after an argument between them started at the restaurant. One of them was the 18-year-old who was stabbed to death. The other, a 21-year-old who had to be taken to St. Barnabas Hospital for stab wounds. Police say charges against him are now pending. Police also say they aren't sure what led to the argument between the 2 men, as that is still under investigation. In Morris Heights, Eric Stelzer, News 12 The Bronx.
Other things on the list here. According to the city's Department of Health, we know here in the Bronx, we have had more drug overdoses back in 2016 than in any other borough, overdose deaths. Governor Cuomo says he plans on taking legal action against opioid distributors, trying to battle addiction all across the state. Cuomo and the Attorney General's office will then use any funds received from taking action against those companies to support anti-opioid addiction campaigns. Cuomo also says New York State will sue the federal government over the recently passed tax overhaul by Republicans and says it is unconstitutional, violates states' rights, and could raise some families' taxes by as much as 25% here in New York. He says he'll push Congress to repeal that new tax law. Also, of course, with sexual harassment right in the national spotlight, Cuomo taking action to make sure there is equality and accountability in the workplace in our state. Cuomo plans on introducing a uniform code of sexual harassment that applies to all branches of state and local government. He's also looking to require private companies that do business with the state to report sexual assault and harassment figures to prevent secrecy. And finally, there was a special guest from the Bronx in that audience today up in Albany who was recognized by the governor and given a standing ovation. That's Akeem Browder, Khalif Browder's brother. And Khalif, who was held on Rikers Island for 3 years, not able to make bail, accused of stealing a backpack. Well, charges were dropped against him, but when he was finally released, he ended up committing suicide. His story, Cuomo says, opened everyone's eyes to the unfair cash bail system in place.
I am directing the State Corrections Commission to develop legally binding corrective action plans or closure orders on jails that are out of compliance, because enough is enough. We will not continue to endure this abuse. Thank you for being here.
I'm Jill Wagner. Here are some of your top business and tech headlines from Cheddar. The Consumer Electronics Show starts in Las Vegas next week. The 4-day event showcases the newest technology from companies like Google and Samsung, as well as car companies like Ford and Audi. The focus this year is expected to be on artificial intelligence. And the next time you're in the car trying to avoid traffic by using the Waze navigation app, actor Liam Neeson could be the voice telling you directions. This is part of a partnership between Waze and Lionsgate, a way to promote Neeson's new movie, appropriately titled The Commuter. Cheddar spoke to Amber Kirby from Waze about what goes into the narration.
So we'll take things like turn right, turn left, and then in 500 feet, and then we'll string them together. So it says something like in 500 feet, turn left, and then turn right. So he's not recording any street names, which that would take a really long time. But it's usually only about 30 minutes for them to go through and record all of these, including the custom ones that we do at the beginning and the end of the drive.
Other celebs have also voiced Waze directions, like Morgan Freeman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Darth Vader. I'm Jill Wagner at Cheddar headquarters in New York.
The man in this video was seen walking into an apartment building near Havmeyer Street in Williamsburg and then walking right back out with a bunch of stuff. You can see it right there. Cops say he took a snowboard, a GoPro, clothes, luggage, and Nike sneakers with a combined value of more than $2,000. He's doing this alone. This happening back on December 29th. And of course, if you have any information about any of these incidents, give the Crime Stoppers hotline a call. The number's on your screen. It's 1-800-577-TIPS.
It's not the lazy Sunday morning people around here were hoping for. In fact, just the opposite. The Fire Department's National Grid and the Department of Environmental Protection all in the streets of Garrettson Beach this morning, repairing a pipe that burst early this morning, also helping to pump water out of flooded basements. Now, the fire chief says at least 12 homes were affected by the water main break. They say these frigid temperatures definitely contributed to the burst.
Yeah, this happened all night long, all over the city. Yeah, if people could keep their water on a drip to prevent the pipes from freezing. You don't really know if the pipes are exposed to the cold.
Well, the guy next door was yelling about 5:30, I think it was. Water main break or something. There was a flood. Everything was flooded. It's up to like 4 feet. Everything is ruined. It's close to Sandy, but not as quite. But we'll have to deal with it, I guess.
Now, temperatures are expected to drop below zero tonight, so we could see all of this again. And coming up later, I'll bring you more from those families dealing with those flooded basements. In Garrettson Beach, Nicole Ryan, News 12, Brooklyn.
Hello, everybody. I'm News 12 traffic and weather meteorologist Bruce Avery, and here is your latest Arctic forecast, but it's not as Arctic as it has been. Winds are dying down during the course of today, so it will only be cold. This is some of the coldest air we've had in here for the last couple of years, but the past couple of days, the wind chills have been up because the winds have also been gusting. Today, not so much. The winds are dying down, so looking at the sky cover and the wind speeds and the temperatures, as well as the humidity, very dry air, you can see when you put the winds and the temperatures together, the wind chills they're still below zero and in the single digits, but they're not as raw and Arctic as they have been the last couple of days, and that will continue to go on through the course of the day. Lots of sunshine and just cold. There are the projected high temperatures around the 5 boroughs and the tri-state area, and the winds out of the west 10 to 15 miles an hour, and then diminishing through the day and definitely tonight. Winds out of the northwest tonight, basically calm. Mostly clear, remaining cold. There are the projected low temperatures, and they're all that different than the high temperatures because milder air is starting to drift in from the south and west. The cold air mass is up to the north and off to the northeast. And clouds and radar show there's precipitation in the Ohio Valley, and we're going to watch that very closely and plan on giving yourself extra time for the Monday afternoon commute because there's a very fast-moving line of showers. Now, there's snow showers or possibly some mixed precipitation coming in the late afternoon and then passing by the early evening, and it really wouldn't be much more of a problem except for the timing coming right at the commute. So give yourself extra time, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look nice, temperatures above normal, and showers moving in, rain showers for the end of the week into the weekend. This has been your latest News 12 traffic and weather forecast. Know before you go.
Get connected on our social media at iPower One Nation for radio and TV news and updates. Stay connected with iPower One.